guilty of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? I'm back. I am Jay with Guilty of Crime. And today we're going to do something a lot different today, guys. I know we're covering the Madeline Soto update in the case. Defense for Stephan Sterns has a trick up their sleeve. More lab reports, guys. And I got to tell you, man, there's a lot of stuff that I am really, really glad that I wasn't able to stream it live because then we wouldn't be able to get information. So everybody come on in, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can. You guys buckle in because there's a lot today going on in this episode. It's not going to be us just sitting there watching these things because, well, you guys have already watched it. And some of the outcomes were unknown because it got cut off 5 minutes at the end. But you guys should know Jay from Guilty of Crime has people in Florida that we all know. You guys know, some of you guys may be here in chat today that I'm able to get information from. So thank you to the crime crew, anybody that was in court. I got to tell you, everybody was hanging. I was watching it with Grizzly True Crime, and she said, "Wait, what's going on? What's going on here? Let me know, let me know." So really what happened at the end was the judge called them back up to the bench, and we're going to get back into this. I just want you to know, if you're hanging by a cliff and you're wondering what happened and you're wondering what's going on, I'll tell you, and then I'll tell you again later because we have quite a bit of a show today. Yeah, quite a bit of a show today. So judge called them up to the bench, spoke to them privately, and the state issues need to be addressed. Now, the judge hasn't ruled yet, but the motion to suppress the trial date, he hasn't ruled on the motion to suppress. The trial date was moved to July 14th. All right, July 14th for the date, and then pre-trial will be, it says June 30th. I think it means July 30th. So there's other inside information. Oh, what happened here? That's crazy. Hmm. I don't know what happened, you guys. I don't know if you can hear me. I don't have any idea I'm still here, guys. I have no idea what happened. All right, guys, I'm back. Thank you for staying here. I'm glad you could hear me. Did you hear me cussing my ass off? I really wasn't cussing. Okay, guys, it was my camera. I don't know what happened. Yeah, it's not. I can't do a podcast, y'all. I can't do a podcast. It doesn't work like that. I got lots of information to show you. So there we are, and you can see back here because the camera. Hold on, real quick. All right, guys, little technical difficulties, but we're back. We're back. All right. All right, so listen up. We're going to get into it. Thank you guys for staying here. Hit the like button. I'll try to cut that out later. Listen up. Judge called everybody up to the bench. All right, now there were people in the courtroom that were there. There wasn't a lot of people there, guys. There was not a lot of people there. So it hasn't been ruled. Trial date got moved to July 14th. And I can tell you more about what happened after we get through some of this. And what I did hear was that Stephan Sterns looked a lot skinnier, maybe a little bit more hollow eyes. We also saw his beard. All right, I'm glad we saw his beard and his head all shaved, and it didn't look too good, guys. So let's get into the first part of it. Team Maddie. All right, we're on Team Maddie. We're here for Madeline Soto to get complete and utter justice. That's what we come for. I came on early today, and I guess my camera didn't want me to come on early. So let's start with this, you guys. Let's start with something really good and positive happening in the case, and then we're going to break down what we think about what's happening here, right, guys? So, as you know, the Madeline Soto bench has been implemented. I wore my Justice for Maddie shirt today. Yeah, he was a lot skinnier than Oscar. I'll get into that after, but being there in person, you guys, being there in person, there were a few people. There were a few people in court today that we know. All right. So you guys gotta, I see the same questions. There's no evidence that's been ruled on yet. The judge has not and will not rule on if the evidence is going to come in just yet. We're hoping the next few days, if not next week. So guess what, guys? Nothing's been ruled. All right. So a few things about the people that were in court. Okay. So the pre-trial got moved to July 14th rather than July 2nd. All right. Now, there was a person that was behind Stephan Sterns, about 15 feet behind him, guys. And there were no phone, no cameras outside of the media, no electronics. This person was 15 feet behind Stephan Sterns and said that he looked very shockingly skinny. All right. Now, maybe the cameras didn't pick it up, but this person also has the satisfaction to see him in handcuffs and ankle chains. Now, we saw his hair, it was buzz cut, and his beard was thin. All right. So nasty, cactus peeing, stinky Sterns. All right. Teresa, you're here. I'm wondering if you were in the courtroom today. I want to know about everybody that was there. A lot of people in Florida were there. All right. So nothing happened, guys. It got cut out and they went up to the bench to talk to the judge, which said it will be ruled on. Now, they brought another person in there, guys. They brought another person because they couldn't make up their mind. Yeah, Frank, just keep on going. Keep on scrolling. All right. You got to go to the live. All right. So, first, we're going to talk about Madeline Soto and what happened, what the ladies made happen in the Justice for Madeline Soto case. Now, I want you to know these shirts that were purchased all went towards that bench. So I want to thank Millie. Millie, if you're listening, Millie Rivera, thank you so much for this shirt. Thank the ladies for the shirts they sold to us. All right, let's talk about this now and Justice for Maddie. All right, we are Team Maddie here. All right, let's go.
Now, there is this permanent memorial put up at a park in St. Cloud to honor the life of 13-year-old Madeline Soto. It's where police say they found her body last year. Investigators say her mother's boyfriend is accused of killing her after abusing her for years. West Shoe's Haley Crumbleholm spoke with some of the women who made this memorial possible.
If one child like Maddie united us, what more can be accomplished through those who are alive and out there?
Jenny Esquivel and a group that's dubbed themselves community advocates for Maddie Soto have been selling these green t-shirts.
Yep, there you
We
go,
counted
guys.
every single cent.
It was with a specific goal in mind.
It's trying to get to honor Maddie with this bench tribute.
The bench is here in Lakefront Park in St. Cloud, and inscribed on it, it says honoring.
And that's awesome. I didn't even get to watch this yet, guys. So just know we're on the side of Team Maddie, justice for Maddie, and every green shirt counts. Let me show it to you. I've got a shirt that we purchased towards it. And then I have several other green shirts here. It's a green screen so you can see right through it. But this is what helped to fund the Madeline Soto bench, all right? So I got a couple more of these. I may do some giveaways this week. Justice for Maddie, all right? So we've got that going. And just know that when we're streaming and when we're doing this, it's for a purpose. It's to get closer to justice for Maddie. And thank those ladies. A big, fat, huge thanks and much love to all the advocates that are out there doing this every day, trying to make the justice for Maddie laws come, making the bench happen, all right? Making the bench happen to be that way, all right? So thank you, guys. Let's keep going. Awesome that these people are just such amazing people that are helping to move this case in the right direction and, well, the energy towards it, right?
A beacon of hope, Maddie Soto, forever loved, forever 13. The group that came together didn't know Maddie personally, but felt compelled to do something after hearing her story.
Just because of the complexity behind her case, and she got subjected to long-term forms of abuse.
Those that brought the bench to the city said they wanted a permanent memorial in St. Cloud because it's where Maddie's remains were found after going missing in February of 2024. Some of them helped to take care of the memorial that cropped up where she was found on Hickory Tree Road.
We'd keep that clean and cut the grass.
And they collected the many cards and notes left for Maddie.
And there were notes that came from children.
All right, there's Nancy. What's up, Nancy? When you come back and watch this, thank you for everything you do. I mean, these ladies are just out there doing it. They're not just talking about it. They're doing it on a daily basis. So thank you, Nancy. That's one of the people that I always talk with just to check in with her. And yeah, thank you guys for being here. Don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can, and below support the channel. Now the take on the people that were in the defense let me change this light color. It's really off. Everything's off on my cameras today. Okay. So the defense seemed to have one up on the prosecution. People in court, and I've heard many people that message me say the state didn't seem very prepared, you guys. Yeah, Jen's not going to be there, guys. You're not going to see Jen anywhere. No sign of Jen. Absolutely not. Now, somebody asked me, oh, there's Nancy Rosca and there's Nancy Jean. Just got home. Awesome. You guys are great. The people in Florida, I'm here in California, so I'm on a delay, which is great because I can get more information as it comes in. Melanie, good to see you. We just started because my camera had a deal. So a lot of people think that the defense won this one, although the judge has not yet made a ruling. All right, but here's a couple things. People are asking, will Stephan Sterns' parents attend the trial? And I'm going to tell you, I asked just that. And no, they will not go to trial. Number one, people are threatening them. Number two, as I told you, Deb Sterns had a heart surgery 2 years back, and then she had a heart valve replaced last month. So she's still recovering from the heart valve replacement, and so they're not going to go to court. All right, Frank Shaw says didn't give nasty stink eye today. Did you go in there, Frank? Didn't give the nasty stink eye. I don't know who was in there. All right, let's keep going so we can get through this. There's a lot today, you guys. I also
It
got to
helped
tell
us
you
to
hold on, I'll tell
realize
you
that
after.
this problem is something that is really deeper than one case.
So their mission doesn't end with the memorial bench. Esquivel says she's been working with state lawmakers, hoping to get legislation passed to better protect.
Yes, this is what we're here for, guys. This is exactly what we're here for. Thank you, Nath for the guilty of crime membership. I know we're here a little early today, but I have different information than all the other people do. And I want to say, the justice for Madeline Soto and what we're doing is a lot bigger than most of us, all of us put together. But what we're here for is just that, to get the justice for Maddie law passed so that schools don't call at the end of the day when school's over and tell you that, oh, your child's missing at the end of the day, and other various things that I know the ladies are working on. Yeah, thank you for that. Whoever got it, thank Nat. Also, congratulations to Whiskey Girl. I don't know if you're here today, but Whiskey Girl won a tumbler. She is in Canada, so we will have to talk about shipping. But you guys, I apologize that shipping is so expensive from the US to Canada. So please contact guiltyofcrime.merch@gmail.com. All right. So everybody, I hope you're doing well. Not only do I have Grish's video that just dropped 3 hours ago about what he thinks is going to be the secret defense, but I'm talking about, does Stephan Sterns' defense have a trick up their sleeve? Guess what, guys? I have an answer for you that is not. I'm going to tell you right now, my answer for you and their trick up their sleeve, I'm going to give it to you today. And it's not just an educated guess. It's something that I know. So after we listen to Gish talk about what he thinks it is, I'm going to tell you what I'm almost positive based on what I've been told and what information has been sent into the defense that none of you guys know about. I can't believe none of you guys know about it, but I didn't tell you about it. So I'm going to tell you now, because people are swirling around and trying to figure out what that trick up their sleeve is. I'm going to tell you what it's probably going to be after we listen to what Gish says, after we listen to what's on the table. All right, what's on the table today, because I'm not just here to stream this 3-hour thing and listen to them yada yada yada. No, I want to talk about more. I want to talk about what other people talked about. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm getting pictures from the courtroom, guys, and it really pictures and information. And the court was not packed today. It was not packed today. Look at that. There's the courtroom right outside, and there's like nobody there. There's nobody there, guys. There's the entrance, the doors. They say, leave your electronics out freaking side. So there it is, guys. Keith Karsten, courtroom 4F. We hope Keith brings it. We hope Keith really brings it. All right. That's what we need. So, yeah, I mean, there just wasn't a lot of people there, guys. But people are feeling bad about what the defense is bringing to the table right now. And I got to tell you, that's not good. That's not good, all right? So, yeah, Stephan looks skinnier, more hollow eyes from losing weight. The attendance, there were only about 15 people in the gallery, guys. Community advocates, media, few witnesses that had to testify. Of course, judge, court personnel, defense team, Stephan Sterns, state's team, and then between the galleries were the guards. So, I wish I lived closer to Florida so I can just pop over there and go. And if it gets delayed, it gets delayed. But when I fly out there, I really got to hope that it doesn't get delayed. All right. So at some point, I'll be going out there. But for now, let's get down to justice for Maddie. All right, guys, let's keep going.
Children like Maddie.
Maddie will forever remind us of what we must and must not do.
The bench reminds them of their mission and Maddie's memory.
This is a permanent site where people can come and reflect on Maddie and her life.
Covering Osceola County and St. Cloud, Haley Crumpleholm, WESH 2 News.
All right, so we always want to document that stuff. We're going to keep going. I'm going to go to the Madeline Soto. Stephan Sterns seeks to block key evidence. I'm going to just play a clipping of that. while I see everybody's chat and what we're doing. I always like to document this stuff. And I also want you guys to be in suspense. All right. I want you to be in suspense. There's a potato. Hashtag arrest Jen Soto. You don't see a picture of Maddie there where, yeah, they don't do that on the bench, guys. They only put a plaque and they keep it uniform so that other children can have the same opportunity. But they stick to whatever their guidelines are, right? So welcome everybody. One love revolutionary. You guys hit the like button. There's 252 people in here. I wish more people would roll in and know that I'm not just streaming the same old 3-hour thing. We got a lot to talk about today. So let's keep going. Let's do this and see what we're about. I didn't document any of this from the last hearing. So we're going to do a little bit of that and we're going to go over some other things today. Let's take a look at him from yesterday, not today's, about them seeking to block key evidence. And then I'm going to tell you what I think their trick up their sleeve is going to be.
Is at stake in the case surrounding the murder of 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Stephan Sterns is trying to get much of the evidence against him tossed out. Watch News' Bob Hazen is at the courthouse where Sterns is expected to be in a few hours.
This is a crucial moment for his defense because those videos that were allegedly found on his cell phone are the reason why he was arrested in the first place. This is the second day.
Wait, so the classic one, the witnesses were in court. The witnesses that were going on the stand were actually there. So I'm not sure what you mean by that. The people that were in the courtroom told me that the witnesses were there. So I don't know what that means, that they can't be in there because they were there. So I don't know. Maybe you mean something different. Let me know in chat. Yeah, Stephan Sterns definitely looks like a demon. He can't hide behind that hat anymore and that big beard. He looks much different than he did in the beginning, doesn't he? All right. And let me know what you mean by the witnesses can't be there, because they were there. They were actually all there in the courtroom. So I'm not sure if you mean at a different time. What's up, Cassidy Mamas? All right, let's keep going.
Day in a row that Stephan Sterns will be in court. He was the boyfriend of Madeline Soto's mother, and police say he killed Maddie last year, a day after her 13th birthday party. Investigators focused on Sterns early after allegedly finding videos on his phone showing him raping the girl for years, and that is the evidence that his lawyers will be.
Now, listen, guys, Stephan Sterns and Jen Soto never thought in a million years that he would be sitting there and they would be facing this. I truly, truly believe that they thought that those hard resets of the phone, those 2 resets, were going to wipe everything away. I believe that the witnesses were only legal. Okay, so I believe that they really, truly believed everything was gone. All right? Everything was gone. And so Stephan handed it over, not so confidently handed it over to the officer, which we'll watch. We'll watch some of the stuff because I want to see the lady that actually talks about taking the phone and all that. So we might have a little bit longer live today. Yeah, we're live, Moon Gazer. We're absolutely live. We're back today. I was off for the last 5 days, and boy, do I enjoy my family. All right. So Nancy says, Jay, the witnesses testified and then left the courtroom. All right, cool. So maybe they came in one by one and testified, or were they all in the courtroom and then they testified? Let me know how that goes. All right. Let's keep going. What's up, Anna Orlando from Florida? And Gracie says, just emailed you some shipping costs to calculate country. All right. That is not me. That is all Tiffany. So I'll message her. Thank you. All right. We don't ship out of the country, but if somebody wants to pay the shipping, you certainly can pay for your item. We just don't have the bandwidth to do that. It's not me shipping it, and I can't tell. Last time I shipped it to Canada, it cost me $60. All right, let's keep going.
We trying to suppress today. They say investigators took
This
his
was
phone
yesterday.
unlawfully and violated Sterns' rights against unreasonable searches. But yesterday, Sterns' lawyer tried to get this hearing delayed, claiming that they had new confidential information that could affect the case. His lawyer would not explain what that information is.
And we're going to watch that Gish video, and then we're going to talk about what I know that the defense has that you guys don't know. I'm surprised I didn't tell you. I'm really surprised I didn't tell you. All right. Dana says, from my view, while he's in court, I can't see a scar on his head. Well, welcome, Dana. You're in court today. Awesome. All right. So Nancy Jean says they called them one by one by the state. Awesome. They waited outside, came in. The court wasn't very packed from what I hear. So good. Of course, Jen Soto's not going to show up. And we already talked about the parents. They're not going to do that. All right. All right. Let's keep going.
This is coming to information that at this time the court defense is in a position to be able to divulge to the court or in open court.
So your good cause is secret?
Essentially, Judge.
The judge denied that request to postpone today's hearing, and we are expecting several witnesses to testify today. That hearing could last several hours. All of this is in the case dealing with Sterns' alleged sexual abuse of Maddie, and he's faced.
All right, and as you know, that happened today, and it actually will be hours, which you guys, many of you saw. We can kind of, work our way through after we do a bunch of other things.
A murder charge in a separate case, but of course these are intertwined, especially because if he is found guilty in that sexual abuse case, prosecutors plan to use that conviction in his murder case to
as an aggregating factor, guys, as an aggravating factor. The Soto family, I don't know. I'm never going to probably talk to the Soto family, but I'm going to tell you the Soto family is probably not going to show up, and that's going to be my educated guess. I don't think they want to be attacked. And I have a feeling they will be attacked. And thank you. The witnesses are only called in the courtroom one by one, and then they leave. Right. That's the kind of things you can see when you're there. And I've never been to a big trial. Although I got to tell you, there's one I want to cover here in San Jose. A woman murdered her child through an exorcism here in San Jose. She gave her daughter to the church in San Jose, and they did an exorcism on her daughter for hours, and she passed away. So that was in San Jose, guys. All right, let's keep going. Let's pull this down, and then we'll take a look at some of these things, and we'll get all caught up all caught up, guys. All right. It was kind of a rough start today for me, and it's my first day back. All right. So Maddie Soto, Stephan Sterns' attorney, claimed new evidence. So this was yesterday, and everybody was talking about the postponement. That didn't happen. There were 12 minutes in court. That didn't happen. And that's basically what they are breaking down about Maddie Soto. And if you guys already don't know, right, Stephan Sterns is the ex-boyfriend of Jen Soto, and this occurred February 2024. So we'll see when an actual trial is going to happen. All right. And luckily, when this came in, I'm pretty happy about this. I tagged Gish in this. All right. I tagged Gish in this because he has his theory on what he thinks the defense is hiding and what they have up their sleeve. After I listen to this, then I'm going to tell you. You guys got to take a look at my page, guys. Take a look at my page. I've got Kaimani scheduled. I've got Emily Pike scheduled. I've got Sebastian scheduled, all for this week. So Kaimani, I'm all over that with Shanitra Speaks. I love her content. So you guys take a look at my page. I've got all my shows scheduled for the week. Back to back to back. All right, guys. So yeah, an exorcism in freaking 2024. It happened here in San Jose, and I'm gonna cover that case. Guys. So we're gonna tag Gish. Hopefully, Gish shows up. He's gonna give you his theory, and then I'm gonna tell you what I know. All right, Psychic Amelia, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming in here. Thanks for everybody that supports the channel. Like, subscribe. That's all free. All right. That stuff's all free. Now let's listen to what Gish thinks they're hiding.
Possible defense strategy as of April 22nd. Now, in a couple of my other videos, I've called his situation a double whammy. And that's based on this old game show called Pressure Luck, where you spin a board to win prizes and money, and there's always a risk that you land on a whammy. Now, if you hit one, you lose everything. Now, if you land on a double whammy, you don't just lose your money, you get hit with something else. Now,
all right. So if you guys didn't watch this, cool. When we're done, you guys can go over to Gish's and smash that like. He's over 5,000 now. I happened to see this and I was like, damn, this is perfect timing to find out what the defense thinks what he thinks the defense is got up their sleeve. And I pretty much know. I don't even know what he says yet because I've been following this all day and trying to speak with everyone. And my first day back to work after 5 days. So I'm trying to get myself and you all up to speed and also not have to hear the same thing over and over, right?
How that goes with a criminal case is, let's say someone is arrested and they're formally charged with a serious crime, such as what Stephan Sterns is being charged with, CSAM and SB. That alone is their win. They're already on the board and they've got a lot to lose. But then before that case even goes to trial, they're charged with another serious crime, like an unaliving. That's your double whammy. Not only are they facing the full weight of the first case, but now they've been slammed with an even bigger, more damaging charge than the first one before it even had the chance to go through with the first trial. So it's really a 1-2 legal punch. So the whammy is the original felony charge. The double whammy is a new, possibly more serious charge, and that's added before they even went to court on the first one. And just like on the show, once that double whammy hits, there's no going back.
I love Gish's I love his investigation skills and his theories. Jen's not going to be there, in my opinion. Stephan's parents already told me they were not going to be there. Remember, Deb Stearns had a heart surgery 2 years ago, and then she had a valve replacement last month. So she's still recovering from her heart valve replacement, and she's still kind of dizzy and whatever. And people attack them on social media, so I don't blame them for not going there. Now, the advocates, oh, I love the advocates there. I love all the Florida ladies and people. Now, I wish I still got to work with them, but this case got out of hand, so I only work with my crime crew on this, all right? So you guys don't forget to opt in, 420 membership today. And if somebody doesn't claim the tumbler, we're going to re-give it out. All right, let's listen up to this guy.
The stakes are higher, the damage is compounded, and it's a wrap. So I'm going to go over what Stephan's public defender is trying to do and why they're trying to do it and how that will change the course of his court hearings and trial.
And I think this is why Stearns is hiding their secret witness. All right, this is great. And what else are they hiding, guys?
We're on the record, State of Florida, Stephen Michael Sterns, 2024 CF 632. Appearance for the record, please.
Danielle Pinnell and William J. for the state.
Alicia Smith and Alex Johnson on behalf of Mr.
Thank
Stephan
you.
Sterns.
That way.
Thank you. All right, the court has set this hearing on the defense's motion to continue the suppression hearing, which is currently set for tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Defense, do you wish to present argument with respect to your motion?
Yes, Judge, and defense has case law provided a copy to the state already.
Stephan's lawyer is submitting case law to the judge to substantiate her argument. That is about 8 to 9 sheets of paper, and no judge is reading that.
Yeah, this is interesting because I believe he clipped this from yesterday, but I'm not sure that today is 3 hours. So we'll listen for a little bit together, like key points, right? I'm not going to hold you guys to your chair watching me for hours, but I will stay here for a while. Now, Linda, I got to say, first of all, there's 333 people in here. Say a prayer that Maddie gets complete and utter justice, okay? Just say a prayer that happens. This is about Team Madeline Soto. This is about Maddie Soto. It's always been about Maddie Soto. And you got to remember, some of the first people on the case were, I hate to say it, but Gray Hughes Investigates and me. I only had like maybe 5,000 followers at the time. And I think, that case boosted it, but the coverage is just, there's so much to cover. And now everybody's covering it and we all have our opinions. And lots of people are messaging me, Linda. It's interesting how they are starting to feel a little bit of sympathy for those that are being attacked, but not Jen Soto, of course. All right. All right. Let's find out what Gish thinks.
I'm going to give you a moment to read, Judge, or you want me?
Hey. He is not reading that.
Essentially, Judge, defense is moving to continue the motion to suppress this set for the tomorrow afternoon. And looking at the Bofo case, it essentially says that in moving for a continuance, defense just has to show that we haven't had a reasonable time to investigate or litigate the case.
Nah, the defense has had enough time to investigate and litigate the case. She's completing the case with specific information that she might want to include into evidence, but she doesn't have enough time to do that because she just got it. That's not the same thing.
And that is balanced against the judicial economy and judicial efficiency in the court managing their documents, turning to the McKay factors.
And they did just get it, but I had no idea them getting that information was going to turn into what it's turning into right now and what might be the actual main freaking defense. I didn't even realize that. I was like, oh, okay, that's going to come in. And I didn't think it was a big deal, but I guess it is. I guess they're using that whole, the whole deal that we're going to talk about. Yeah, you found me after watching Gray and was excited to find someone else who had Maddie in there. Yeah, Anna, that was it. It was us. And then everybody else picked on it. And then, of course, the people with the money to buy the documents took over, right? All the big people that have money for documents, and they do it all day. That's what they do all day. The big baller channels, that's their job. So kudos to them.
As well as the factors that are listed in, I believe.
I don't think this attorney wanted to do this. She's just citing case law, but she's not applying it to an argument. Whatever information that she has that she's trying to get a delay on to then maybe have it put into evidence, I don't think she got that information on her own. I think that someone gave it to her. And even though she's a public defender, Stephan Sterns is still her client. And she can advise Stephan on which direction to go, but it's his decision on where she places her argument. And being that she's not really arguing anything, she's just citing case law. It makes me feel as though this is not what she wants to do.
Turner, that looks to a defense suffering an injustice by failing to grant.
Now, remember, this is all she did in that first hearing where they tried to get the media kicked out. It was a lot of citings of case laws and legal jargon. And then we had the middleman come in and everyone was like, slow down, dude. So that's what a lot of this is. Now, I gotta admit, today it did feel like there was a win for the defense, but we don't know because it hasn't been ruled yet. It was just kind of the feeling that everybody had that was there and the people that watched it. So it's interesting. His mother and father have heard the info, huh? All right, let's keep going.
Continuance, as well as if the delay was attributable to the defense or if it was unforeseen. Defense would argue that the intention is not to delay the court, isn't to be derelict in our duties. Defense is moving for this continuance based off of, as the court is aware, there is the second case, and preparing for the motion as well as in preparing the other case for trial. Defense is coming to information that at this time defense isn't in a position to be able to divulge to the court or in open court.
So your good cause is secret?
Essentially, Judge. Well, I can't in good faith at this time, being that it's still being explored. I don't know how.
I love that he says she stops rambling at 6:39. And yeah, don't get me wrong, guys. I love Paula from Plunder and Grizzly True Crime. I'm not saying that they are. I never am saying anything about them buying it. Their content is great. What I'm saying is if you're a creator and you were here at the beginning of this when everything was coming out and going directly to you, and then it got big and the big creators, they buy up all of the documents and it goes to them first. So yes, the big creators are doing a great job, but yes, they get the documents first. And trust me, in the YouTube algorithm. And if you look at their views, like let's say they got 200,000 views within hours, that's why you see that. And why it gets in the algorithm, because they have it first. So don't Kylie, I see you, and I love their content. That thankfully it's them that gets the content first. I'm just telling you guys that they get it first because that's what they do all day, and they buy it. All right, now they all split it up. I think it will come down to the verbiage that was used. This is going to be a big deal here. I want to hear exactly what Gish says, but I didn't realize that was going to be the defense that I think is coming. And I do know that the documents that I'm talking about just got over to them recently. Those documents weren't found. They couldn't be found because it was so long ago. All right. So let's keep going. Yeah, everybody is all great. All the creators. Yeah, I have nothing, Kylie. It's not about that. It's just, hey, whoever gets the information first gets it out first, and y'all watch it first. So that's just how YouTube world works.
I don't know which way it's going to go, if it's going to be something that's going to pan out in favor of defense or be able to be something to be utilized in this case. As the court is aware, a death notice has been filed in the second case. And while I'm not arguing specifically as to that case, in that death notice, this case is used as one of the aggravating factors. So a conviction on this case would be one of the aggravating factors the state would potentially be seeking in the death notice in terms of the homicide case. Defense would argue that this information has come to light recently, and we're still in the process of working through it and figuring out if it's something that would or wouldn't be available in this case. If the defense were to go forward with the motion to suppress at this point, potentially would be revisited depending on the court's ruling on that. In terms of just regular pretrial in the case, we would going to continue the regular pretrial even aside.
She's rambling.
We did an evidence viewing. We were able to complete the evidence viewing, and the second part of that evidence viewing is scheduled for June 11 with the state in this case. So defense essentially is moving to continue balancing both from factors as well as the McKay factors. Defense believes that this isn't a unreasonable request on the court and filing a motion and getting this set for a hearing.
You gotta love Grish's take on this, and when we watch it, when we go through the live stream, when we go through it in a bit, I'll do that too. I'm gonna be like, we need to fast forward this or go faster because this is driving me nuts. Yeah, I mean, she's basically rambling and mumbling like she did the last time. But I gotta say, they're bringing good points, and no matter what our opinions are, it's not gonna change the fact of how the judge rules and what the defense that they use is. All right. So let's keep going. Mumble, 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 ramble, ramble.
And still doing their due diligence in terms of preparing the case otherwise for trial and for the motion to suppress in and of itself.
Right. So the McKay factors, so we're on the same page, deal with a request to continue the trial.
Yep.
The other factors that you mentioned deal with a request to continue either a trial or a substantive hearing for absence of a critical witness. State response?
Yes, Your Honor.
Stephan has the double whammy right now. He's up against a lot. Now, this is what I think his lawyer is trying to do strategically, but I'll also tell you who the secret witness would be and what the secret information that they're trying to investigate is. This is the CCM and SB case. If Stephan is convicted, that conviction brings aggravating factors, but only if the evidence is allowed in court. That's why the defense is trying to suppress it. If it's in, it becomes a legal aggravator in the unaliving case, which raises the stakes in the unaliving trial. Aggravating factors can be the difference between life in prison or, And as far as the secret expert witness, my opinion is this. The reason the defense won't reveal what kind of expert witness they're using is because the type of expert witness will give away the evidence.
Yep.
So I think it's a neurologist because I think they were trying to bring up the traumatic brain injury, likely an MRI tied to Stephan. So that's my opinion on the strategy behind that.
Now, let me just put this up for a second while I tell you something. So listen up. Gish is very perceptive. Gish also looks at documents He looks at documents and he watches all of these, streams, which is great. I always hope he pops up when I tag him. But let me tell you right now that even though we're speculating, it's this way, we're speculating about what it's going to be and what Gish is saying. And I see people in chat saying, that's not a defense. And remember at the very end of Wade Wilson's trial, they brought that in. I'm going to tell you right freaking now, if you didn't hear me already, when we went over the days and days, there were different days that I was sitting here streaming and I had Deb in my text messages and she was trying to make sure that whatever I was saying, matched up with what she told me and what was happening. So I don't know if you guys heard me, but Deb and Chris, in fact, did dig up his documents and they got them submitted and they found. Thank you so much, Rosie, for the 99-cent super sticker, Foxy Amazon for the Guilty of Crime membership. So I'm going to tell you right now, Gish is smart. He's perceptive. He pays attention. And what he paid attention to was, I got to remember which way my camera's pointing, was that. All right. So they did, in fact, you guys, Stephan Sterns' parents did, in fact, recently find and get the requested documentation for Stephan Sterns in the hospital when he got ran over, and the TBI and any other information. Initially, there was nothing. Initially, they could only find one document and they requested others to help with his defense. Well, they got it. His parents did, in fact, have a breakthrough with the hospitals and whoever else they reached out to, and they got that information and they turned it into the defense. So if you're thinking that about Gish and what he's saying, he's right. And I don't know if it's going to be a neurologist or it's going to be somebody that actually worked on the case or knew, but I don't know who they got. But yes, they're absolutely, I don't know. I'm not going to take the words out of anybody's mouth, but I am going to tell you that is going to be part of the defense, in my opinion. All right. That, in my opinion, they just turned that paperwork in recently. All right. And recently it got submitted, and them doing this and talking about surprise witnesses. Yeah, it's going to be the TBI, guys. It is going to be that. I don't think it's going to work. And that's neither here nor there. We're not the judge. We're not the jury, and we're sure not executioners, or we would already be done, right? We'd be done. So there you go. His parents are doing anything they can, obviously, anything that he asks. And we're probably going to hear more phone calls. We're going to hear more phone calls of the parents talking to Stephan and him saying, hey, dig this up, look for that, do this. We just haven't heard it yet because the calls are delayed. All right. So I never said that that's going to work. Do they have to put that in? And right, TBI isn't a defense, but it's a mitigating factor. And it could be a defense if they want to say this happened because of this. We want a lesser charge. Yeah, absolutely. They can do whatever they want. We're not the attorneys. We don't know. All right. Yeah, exactly, Meow. Exactly. You're catching on. Do we like what's happening? No. Do we need to block out what's happening because we don't like it? No, we don't block out what's happening. We look at what's happening, accept it, and move on to the next. So I believe Gish was paying very close attention when he when he put this video together. So thank you, Gish. I think that's the end of it. All right, so that was all done. I need to find my I want to show you guys the FDL. Even if you watched it or you didn't, it has something to do with what's happening in this case. And I haven't been here to catch up. So I'm going to play a little bit of this and then I'm going to get the document. So we're going to watch some of this together, you guys. If you want me to fast forward it, or you want to talk, or you want questions, we'll talk. But let's document some of this without having to watch the whole thing. Many of you probably did, right? So those of you that came here and said, I really want to watch this again, I missed things, or I'm taking it very seriously, here it is. Now, am I going to stay here for 3 hours? No. Can we talk about it? Yes. Do I have other documents, more lab reports and more documents? Yes. I would like to do that on Friday and have a call in, but I don't know how that's going to work out yet. So let's talk about what happened today in this and what you think. And I can't believe that people think that that the defense is doing better than the prosecution. I'm not quite sure why, since there hasn't been a ruling yet. All right, now my son has a TBI. Yeah, you look at Wade Wilson though. They tried to use that and it didn't fly at all. So I don't think that I don't want us to get all worried about that now, because a lot of people are already worried about the evidence, the Google Cloud stuff. I think they made it very clear today that he said yes to the phone. But if that's the case, then hey, look up South Carolina versus Timothy Jones. He unalived 5 children and tried the TBI run. It didn't work, and it won't work for. And thank you for your opinions, guys. I know you guys get super heated around this case. So yeah, keep that passion, keep the passion coming. Let's hear what happens here. Let's go a little bit forward.
Fourth Amendment rights
Hold
against
on.
unlawful search and seizure, again, by way of coercion, acquiescence to police authority, impairment by lack of sleep, or use
All
of
right, so you guys know now
that no exigent circumstances existed for the unlawful search. So in a related motion is a fruit of the poisonous tree argument that the subsequent information obtained from a Google search warrant.
Yeah, now today, this is not for a TBI is a traumatic brain injury. Wade Wilson tried to use that approach. It didn't work. Many people try to use the approach and it doesn't work, but some people it does work. There's a lot of cases right now of children taking their parents' lives, and I can talk about one that got freaking off because they said she was crazy in a nutshell. All right. So, okay. So July 2nd, guys, pretrial has been moved to July. Oh, wait, what did it say? Okay. I'm sorry. July 2nd, write this down. Hopefully it sticks, is pretrial. July 14th is trial. All motions in by June 30th. All right. So June 30th, they have to get all their shit together, so to speak, about the TBI. If they have a special neurologist, whatever they did, it's got to be in by June 30th. It doesn't seem like the judge is going to put up with anything, guys. It sounds like they're not. He wants to do this and he wants it to happen, which is crazy. If we see a trial this year, it's insane. Cynthia, you're not late because we just started this just now. Welcome in. Hit the like button, guys, and subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, Aaron Hernandez, that's another one.
From the initial search and seizure of the phone, this was pursuant to a warrant. However, the taint was not diminished. The taint of illegal act.
Now, listen, guys, here's a worst case scenario. I do not think anybody's arguing that Stephan Sterns is going to get off on a TBI. All right. So here's the scales of justice, and they're trying to weigh the scales. Here's the death penalty that he's facing, and then they're trying to take that TBI and move it down so the death penalty isn't equal with the scale of justice that they're looking for. Here's the scales of justice. You throw something in and weigh it down, and you say he's got a TBI, and it takes those scales to another level that is not the death penalty. That's what I believe they're trying to get out of, is a death penalty. I don't think anybody's saying Stephan's going to go home. I don't think anybody's saying any of that. All right. What's up, David BMX? How you doing, my friend? Now, you guys got to admit, it doesn't need to be an excuse or not an excuse. It's called court, and it's called put your best hat on and put on a show in the courtroom, because the best show wins. You guys know that. Justice is not what we think it is. Look at the Karen Reed trial. It's not. All right. So that's what they're trying to do. They are fighting to keep him from death row. That is my opinion, and I'll stick to that until the end. All right. Let's keep going. I
was not diminished by this.
I think you guys know all this stuff. This is what we just talked about for the last 30 minutes. It's all right. So it's the motion to get this shit out of it, to get this out of there, to get that Google, the phone that they downloaded and be gone. All right. Now let's listen to her testify about it. This is what we've been talking the last however many minutes. Let's get that lady on the stand. I'm trying to see if. All right.
Thank you. The rule of sequestration has been invoked. If you are a potential witness in this case, we're going to ask you to please remain outside of the
Okay, there it is.
Please do not discuss the facts of the case with anyone, including other potential witnesses. Ms. Smith, whenever you're ready.
Of course not.
Mr. Sterns may be questioned from counsel table. We're going to swear in Mr. Sterns.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you are about to enter into this case?
Oh yeah, everybody has big feelings about that today, Nettie, and that's what chat's for. I have big feelings about it too, but I'm here presenting it, and I'm saying everybody has big feelings, but you all know at the end of the day who puts the best show and who crosses their T's and dots their I's. So I don't think that that's going to get him out of anything by any means. Any of you guys, I don't think any of that, but it is going to be a component to their defense. And thank you, Carolina Hurtado. Justice for Madeline. 13, forever 13. She would be 14, right? All right.
I do.
All right, can you please state and spell your last name for the record?
Stephan Sterns, S-T-E-R-N-S.
And Mr. Sterns, did you come into contact with law enforcement in January?
Oh, yeah.
I did.
During your contact with law enforcement, did they seize or take an item from you?
Yes, they did.
What item was that?
That would be my cell phone.
Do you know what type of cell phone it was?
It was a Samsung Galaxy. I believe it was a 24.
And what was your understanding, if any, as to what they were going to do with it?
They were just going to check my Google Maps and check to see if I was logged into Google, and that was it. That was all I agreed to.
Were you shown, or did they have a warrant?
They did not.
No further questions, Judge.
Thank you.
They did not have a warrant because you let them, idiot. Now, you guys all know, and this is great listening to the first person, especially. The first person especially is fantastic. This guy handed over his phone because him and Jen Soto were so confident, guys, so confident that that his phone was deleted. All right. All right. Thank you. All right. Let's keep going. I'll paste your comments up as I can.
Cross requested.
Yes, sure.
Thank you, Ms. Fennell.
I have just a moment.
Yes.
Of course. Absolutely. Absolutely, Angie. Absolutely. Yeah, you guys got to put it up. I can't change that, unfortunately.
Mr. Sterns, you briefly discussed having a conversation or being interviewed by Detective Tagler and Detective Acosta on February 27th. Is that correct? Of last year?
That's correct.
And pursuant to the questions you were just asked, you had indicated that you did not consent to the search of your cell phone.
I consented only to them looking at the Google Maps and checking to see if I was logged into Google in the first place.
Did you have the opportunity to see what law enforcement was doing on your cell phone?
No, as Acosta was still talking to me, Tagler walked away and began searching all the things that I did not consent to.
Isn't it true that she actually handed your phone back to you?
Briefly, when she told me to input my PIN because it had locked itself.
Well, listen, he's freaking doing this and sorry if that hurt your ears, guys, but he's literally going up and like into the microphone. The great part about him testifying about this is he was very aware of what was going on, but when you watch the body cam, he wasn't as aware as he is now. He was kind of going through the motions of what he needed to do, knowing that he might get caught, but also thinking that everything was deleted. Right now, it's hindsight, right? Hindsight's 2020, and he's like, "Well, I can say this because, but we already know. We saw what happened. Yeah, he's disgusting. All of this is disgusting, and it's a bunch of lies. He looks like the rear end of a Lincoln when its doors are open." All right, let's keep going. Yeah, he keeps going up towards the microphone. He wants to be heard, guys, which is good because it means he's going to be there.
And Detective Tagler actually mentioned looking at your history, which you okayed, correct? Gunnar, can we approach?
Yeah, come on up.
All right, so there. Let's go a little bit forward. They're not gonna. All right, that doesn't matter real quick what they're saying to him, but I want to tell you guys, I'll put it on in a second. I want you guys to know right here, right now, you guys know that I have guests on my show. We have guests. We're always going to have guests. We're always going to have people on. Every one of you, including myself, should always take it with a grain of salt what other people say. All right, even me. Take it with a grain of salt what I say. It could be corrected as more information comes out. So every single person that comes on the show, just because they come on the show and I talk nice because I'm courteous to people and I respect people, it doesn't mean I believe everything they're saying. Just remember that. We all should do that as well. Take it with a grain of
What
salt.
was your assignment with the Orange County Sheriff's Office in February of 2024?
I was and am currently assigned to the domestic crime squad.
How long have you been assigned to that particular squad?
About a year and a half.
How long have you been with the Orange County Sheriff's Office?
About 5 years.
Were you assigned to the investigation
Yep.
into Madeline Soto, who was reported missing?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have the opportunity to come into contact with somebody identified?
I'm just going to answer that real quick, Claudia, because he doesn't need to. He's not in front of the jury or anything. And I mean, maybe, yeah, Koberger wanted to. Koberger's been showing up in a suit and tie, but I guess he just didn't request it. There's nobody there that is really means anything or that's going to see him. If the jury was there, I would imagine he would be, but I guess he just doesn't care. It doesn't really matter.
As Stephan Sterns.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you have contact with Mr. Sterns?
The morning of February 26th, 2024.
February 26th, the Monday, or February 27th, the Tuesday?
Yep.
I believe it was the Monday, it was actually the Tuesday morning. I'm sorry.
At the time that you had contact with Mr. Sterns, had the Orange County Sheriff's Office already been investigating the disappearance of 13-year-old Madeline Soto?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have contact with Mr. Sterns and conduct an interview about 12 in the afternoon on February 27th of 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you describe Mr. Sterns' demeanor during your encounter?
Appreciate you.
Nothing particularly notable. He seemed to have, I think he had just woken up about an hour before.
He always just
I made
wakes up.
contact with him.
Stephan Sterns always just wakes up people. Yeah, I mean, we're never really going to find out the true story. Justice for Maddie, Forever 13. You're absolutely right. Maddie's not here to tell it, and her perspective is the only one that it really matters, right? No, Jen's going to say one thing, Stephan's going to say another, his parents are going to say another, the courts are going to say another, defense is going to say another. I mean, that's what fascinates us so much, is to find out answers, right? And yeah, it doesn't matter because it's innocent until proven guilty. All right. Now, if they're not offering him if the prosecution is not saying, hey, we're going to give you a deal if you just tell us what happened, it doesn't seem like they're doing that. The prosecution seems very confident in the evidence that they have, guys. All right, I'll let you guys see the yummy detective. I'll be right back. I gotta grab my drive.
It was an average demeanor, nothing particularly notable about it.
Was he cooperative with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Was he able to speak coherently to you and answer questions appropriately?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he seem to have any difficulty understanding conversation that you guys were having?
Not at all.
Was this interaction that you had with Mr. Sterns audio recorded?
It was.
Where were you at when you had this interaction with him?
I was at his home or at Jennifer Soto's home in Kissimmee. We were in my vehicle.
Was this located at 4012 Santa Maria Drive?
That's it.
And was anybody else present during your conversation?
No, ma'am.
Your Honor, I would like to approach the witness with state's name for identification. Did you have an opportunity to listen to the recording on state's A for identification?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it a fair and accurate recording of the conversation that you had with Mr. Sterns on February 27th of 2024 at approximately noon?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, at this time, the state will seek to introduce an evidence whether marked state's A for identification and the evidence is stage 1.
Bam.
No objection. A as an alpha will be received as stage 1 for purposes of this hearing.
During your interaction, you had indicated that you believe, well, actually here in court today, you indicated that you believed he woke up about an hour before you had contact with him.
I believe so.
What makes you say that?
I had first completed an interview with Jennifer Soto. I had gone back to my vehicle to make a phone call. And I think Stephan was upstairs in the home while I was interviewing Jennifer. When I had gone back in, he walked back down from upstairs and said that he had recently woken up within the hour.
No further questions.
Cross-examination.
Stephan's ready to go.
When you're doing this interview, you're inside of the house, right?
I was in my vehicle.
Okay. When you first met with Mr. Sterns, you met him inside the house?
In the house, yes, sir.
Okay. And then you took him outside and put him in your vehicle, right?
Yes, sir.
And when you did that,
Now, I really do wonder what the judge is going to rule on versus what people think the tone of this is, because we've all seen it and we're hearing it right now. We've seen it on camera. We heard it. We've read it a bunch of times. It just doesn't make sense that would get out. That would be kicked out. Now, Jen being in a mental hospital absolutely was a whisper in Florida. And, I tried to find out if she was there in the beginning or when she went in, and I haven't been able to get an answer about that. All right. All right, let's keep going.
that's when you learned about him being sleepy, it sounds like.
I don't think he was sleepy, but it sounded like he had woken up about an hour prior. Yes.
Okay. Woke up about 11 a.m. Sounds like he was in English, right?
Correct.
He always wakes up, guys. He's always waking up, him and Jen Soto.
At any point, did you ever seek a warrant for any of the cell phones or anything in this case?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay. Did you ever look at a cell phone?
No.
Did you ever ask him about a cell phone?
No.
No.
All right, welcome everybody here. Deafening Silence 2025. Glad you're here. I'm glad you're stopping by. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can see all of our other streams all week. We're usually on about 4 p.m. Everybody else that's here, thank you for being here. Nettie, I hope you're still in chat. I see some people giving their opinion, and opinions are great. I have big opinions too, and I think all of them put together mean something. But at the end of the day, the judge is going to rule on what he rules on. And I just can't see the evidence getting kicked out, guys. I just don't see it.
Detective Hunt, step down. Excuse for
No.
for today.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next.
So get some info.
I love her right here. I love seeing the people being able to see them. It's been a lot of audio, right? And then the back of his head. Yeah, this guy, I just want to vigilante justice, right? All right, enough of the back of his
The
head.
time, Detective Hunt with canvassing.
Yes, yes.
What time do you respond to
I don't know.
It was about 4 p.m.
Okay, good, good.
February 27th?
Yes.
And where is the initial location where you responded to?
It was in Hunters Creek.
Did you respond to a residence in
No, no. This is this Tagler, guys? Is this the officer? I know this is the officer. That he got his phone. She was the smooth talker, right? I know she's not a roommate for sure. I just making sure I know that who it is. I think it's Tagler, right? Isn't Tagler the female? Yeah, this is Tagler. I thought so. It doesn't say on there, but this is Detective Tagler, and with her smooth moves, you'll see what she was able to do. Yeah, I figured it was Tagler. I recognize voices too, but it's so nice to see the people's faces.
Hunters Creek or somewhere else?
Somewhere else.
Did you respond to the command post?
Yes.
When you get to the command post, do you learn any information regarding the investigation?
Yes.
What information do you have after leaving the command post? What information did you get?
I was advised of we have LPRs, which is tag readers, and I was advised of the direction of travel that Stephan's vehicle had traveled the day of the incident.
Were you aware on this date and time that
They were.
Madeline Soto had not gone to school on February 26th?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Were you aware that she had not been seen since the morning of February 26th?
Yes.
And the information regarding the tag reader, did law enforcement identify the tag that was on a vehicle that the defendant had access to?
Yes.
And what was some information that you got regarding the location of the defendant's vehicle on the morning of
Oh, that's
traveled
great.
southbound 3 times on South Jungian Parkway towards Kissimmee, which was away from the direction of Madeline School.
Are all of these times early morning and late morning?
Both.
And then did you also get some information that in the afternoon?
In the afternoon.
In and out of St. Cloud?
Yes.
Specifically, the travel on southbound South John Young Parkway, were those times consistent with what the defendant had described to law enforcement as his locations were?
They were not.
And were the initial time was around 8:15 in the morning?
I believe it was 8:10.
And then there was another one around 10 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
And then almost around noon.
Yes.
Thank you. Overruled as to leading. I've got a question. The times that you just gave were all for identifications of the tag through the LPR system.
And then the afternoon times of going in and out of St. Cloud, do you recall what those were?
I do not.
Stephan's looking at her. Look at her.
Yes.
Was looking at your narrative assistant helping you remember the specific times?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm approaching the witness for the record with Detective Tagler's narrative.
Thank you. I'm looking at page 4.
to the times that the vehicle was picked up on the tag reader going into and out of St. Cloud?
Yes.
What times was it traveling towards or into St. Cloud?
It says eastbound on US 192 and Pecan Street at 13:05 hours, and westbound on US 192 and Academy Drive at 14:23 hours.
And you were equipped with this information at the time that you responded and met with Mr. Stearns?
Yes.
Were you aware as to who the last person to have seen Madeline Soto alive or have seen her was?
Yes.
Who?
Stephan Sterns?
Was that consistent throughout a lot of law enforcement interviews that were conducted?
Yes.
After you get this information and your task is to assist in the investigation, what's the next thing that you do?
Detective Acosta and I respond to Kissimmee to their residence and meet with Detective Hunt.
When you say their residence, are you referring to Miss Jennifer Soto, Madeline Soto's residence?
Yes.
All right, you guys. There's 130 people in here, and I apologize, but I can't stream anymore. So I'm gonna get out of here. I still see people in here, and this is just me in my office with no internet. But let me double check before I get off. Yeah, that stinks. That's all right, guys. That's too bad. Yeah, the internet says it will be out until like 6:45. So yeah, that's too bad. I needed to shut it down or it would just keep running. Yeah, you guys see my you saw The Office. Everything's okay, just my internet went out, guys. I'm streaming on my phone right now. Yeah, I even got my glasses on. All right, let's see. I'm gonna restart the computer and see if it goes back up, but I don't think so. I don't think so, y'all. Let's see. Oh, it might. Hold on. Wow, it came back up. All right, I guess some of you guys are on here. Let's see. I'm gonna get off this one and open that one, or I'm gonna have two of them open. Enter. All right, guys, I'm back up. Let's see. All right, let me move this. All right. Ooh, that's like an echo. All right, hold on. All right, guys, can you see me now? Let me close this. End.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,